Welcome back to Microsoft Flight Simulator with the Rude Man, and we're in Phoenix, Arizona, and we're going to be heading to LAX, which is Los Angeles. So we're heading into California today. And let's see, first of all, let me check the weather. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. We're in live weather. It looks beautiful. We'll stick with that. We need to throw in some fuel before we get on the road. Let's just throw some in there. It's a shorter flight today. It's only 300 miles or so. 320, I think. Hang on. 321 miles today. So it's a shorter flight, which is good. I'm happy about that. So, let's go in and get this thing started. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. So we're going to go down to throttle. We're going to turn on some fuel, put it on the right. We're going to go ahead and set the flaps to takeoff. Let's put this in idle before we start. And then let's go above. We're going to turn our lights on to taxi. Pulse light, nav light, strobe light. And these are internal lights. I don't really need to put them on. It's bright sunshine out. Let's go ahead and pull the crash bar up. We'll turn on the batteries, turn on the generator. The starter is on off for the moment. That's on auto. We'll raise this up to auto. Turn the fuel selector on so that I don't have to worry about switching that left and right tank. And I forgot to do this in the last episode. I forgot to turn this on, and I couldn't figure out why the autopilot wouldn't come on. There's a switch here that turns the autopilot off. Why? I don't know. But if you don't turn this on and you decide to use the autopilot, you can't. So then I'm going to turn the oxygen on, and we're ready for other things now. So let's go down the main here. We're going to turn on our pitots and our insert SEP. We're going to put our auto bleed on. We're going to come up to navigation, turn that on. Put this on MFD. We're going to do a flight plan. We're just going to do a direct route. And we're going to select the waypoint. And it's going to be KLAX Los Angeles. Enter and activate. What's that? Off route. I don't know why it does that. But it still shows our flight path, so I don't know what that means. I'm just going to let it go, and maybe I can read about it. Let's go to the autopilot, and we're going to set in our initial 6,000. That's my tour altitude. Touring altitude, we put the flight directors on, and we're basically ready to go. Let me kick this caution off. And we're ready. Let's start this thing. Okay, so as this thing's speeding up, you'll notice that some of these warnings are going away. And so we're down to the insert is on and the park brake is on. But we're waiting for the prop to wind up here. Okay, oil pressure is fine. It's in the green. Our temperature is in the green on the lower side, which is good. And I've got it in idle, so we've got plenty of room. And we're ready to go. So let's find ourselves a runway. And I can choose any of the runways. I'm just going to choose the first one I come to. So let's cut that off. Take the brake off. Now, if you notice, there was a little bit of a speed on that. That idle was pretty hot. I had it in high idle. There's a low idle and a high idle, and I had it in the high one. Mainly because I don't know how to take it into the low one. When I turn the thing on, it automatically pops over. So I don't understand that, but there's a lot of things I don't understand. So it's a beautiful day for a flight. We're in Phoenix, Arizona. It should be a beautiful day here. We're heading to California. It should be beautiful there. I think there's a runway right next to me, and we're going to be using it. I've seen a few videos on takeoffs and landings, and, you know, I'm no pro. I'm just having fun playing a game. I've seen some people that are doing like 90 miles an hour taxiing out to a runway, and I've got the throttle all the way back, and it's a little bit fast. I could actually pump a brake here and slow it down a little bit. I just started my timer because I'll be taking off here in a second. I don't need the whole runway, so I might pop out here onto the runway. Now, if you look, there's a windsock just ahead of me, and it's barely moving, so I don't think wind is a problem today. We're not going to claim it to be an issue. And again, today I am flying the turboprop. I enjoy this plane a lot. In future flights, maybe not on the tour, I might just end the tour with this plane because I'm really enjoying flying it. I might try an actual jet. There's a jet that is touted as a executive jet, so it's a private jet. It does have two jet engines. I can't think of the name of it at the moment. I'll have to check into that. But maybe I'll do a flight in it. But I want to try it. You put the brake on. We're gonna go inside and make take one last look at everything. Make sure I've got everything I need. Taxi lights are on. Okay. All right, I think we're ready. Left, right. Let's take the brake off. Give ourselves some throttle. rotate. And we've got positive climb. Take a look outside. There's the airport. It's a good sized airport. Look at that. Sky Harbor. And we're climbing. I forgot. I almost forgot. I just started my timer. Let's get in here and get our landing gear up. Make sure our flaps are off. Landing gear is up. That's a cute little hill over there. Kind of a pretty airport out in the middle of the desert. What's that interesting looking building down there? Bye-bye, Phoenix. I've known you well. Actually, I haven't. There's some good-sized buildings over there. Hangar Haciendas. So we're in an interesting looking valley. Look at the nice roads. A lot of people. There's some big buildings. All right, I'm checking to see if all right, I can give it a little more throttle. We're still climbing. We just made our 6,000. So let me level off here. After I get leveled off, I'll take a look at the throttle. I don't want it overheating. And we're looking at 316 nautical miles. I think it was 321 before we left the airport. So it's a little bit shorter flight today, which is great. That doesn't hurt my feelings any. We're just going to sit back and enjoy it. I'm sipping a little bit of tea, but it needs to be refreshed. I'll wait until until everything's going well, and then I'll jump out and refresh my teacup. Glendale, Arizona. Some good-sized buildings down there. A lot of industry, I'm guessing. Dense housing. Look at that. Man, oh man. Now there's some planning for you. How would you ever find your house? I mean, look at that. That's very dense. There's my house right there. Yeah, really? How do you get there? I've told the story. I lived in quite a smaller city than this, Vancouver, Washington, and we had a house that was in an area like this, a construction area, a housing development. That's what they call them. And all the houses are the same floor plan, pretty much. They'll do maybe 3 different floor plans, if that. And they just start building houses, and every single one of them looks alike. And I've told this story when we first moved there. Very, very first moved in, and I went to work, and when I got off work, I couldn't remember the landmarks to get to my particular neighborhood in that development. I couldn't find our house. I looked and looked and looked, and I went back out, and I turned around, came back in, and I thought, okay, I think I went right when I should have went left, so I'm in the wrong neighborhood. And so I tried again, and finally I saw my wife's car. That's the only way I could distinguish the houses. They're all the same color, they're all the same shape, all the same style. And so the only difference is what you've got in your yard. So, I'm looking for landmarks so I could find my way home. I almost thought about taking breadcrumbs and tossing them out the window. So I'm not entirely sure, because of where we're at on the map, I'm not entirely sure where our hills are going to be, if I have to worry about any kind of mountain range. But this is what we're looking at here. We left Phoenix. There's an Air Force base right under us here. And if we pop out the map here, you can see we're not that far from LA at all. 321 miles. And as you can see, it's a straight line to LA. And I don't think I've got any mountain ranges to worry about. I don't think. There are some mountain ranges up here in Nevada, but we're missing Nevada. This triangle right here, you can barely see it on this map, is Nevada. We're in Arizona. There's not New Mexico, Colorado up above us here. I think it's Colorado, if I remember my geography, which I'm not good at. Anyway, that's our flight path for today. Should be a very quiet flight. I don't know how much we'll be able to see. There are some little hills here, but obviously they're not that high. I'm only 6,000 feet. You know what I forgot to do? Now that I'm thinking about it, I forgot to set my altitude. It's 30.07. Let me do it now. And it didn't change very much. So there you go. We just went up 20 feet. So we weren't too far off. Really enjoying this plane. Let's see, we're doing 218 right now. I could pop it up a little bit if we look at the instruments here. We're doing 218. If we look over here, you can see I got some wiggle room up on the throttle. The RPM is in the green. That's good. This ITT temperature, that's where I have to be careful. These two things right here, the NG percentage and the temperature here. Oh, well, you also need to watch the oil pressure and the oil temperature. You're going to be in trouble. I screwed this plane up once by not paying attention, and the oil pressure just dropped down. I mean, I just lost it, and I didn't stay in the air very long. So let me kick up the throttle just a tiny bit, because I do have a little bit of room. And let's leave it at that right there. I'll watch that for a minute. That's going to kick us up to 225 miles per hour, nautical miles. What is that? Tone off? I don't know what I was looking at there. Waltonberry Field. I watched a video yesterday and they were talking about the country that has the most airports. And it was surprising which ones that were listed. I think South America, Brazil, I think, had quite a few. I should pull that up again. Maybe I will. Let me pull that up. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it. There's a real life pilot that I watch. Bear with me while I look for it. I think it was yesterday. Here it is. Which countries have the most airports in the world? Okay, Mexico, believe it or not. Okay, Mexico has 1,714 airports. It's the number 3. The second place was the rainforest of Brazil. It has 4,093. And of course, the number 1 is no surprise, it's the United States. And it's got 14,712 airports. That's a lot. And I mention that because as you look around, you'll see there's little airfields every damn where. And this pilot is a European pilot that I watch. And I think he calls himself Pilot Joe or something like that. But anyway, his comment was, yeah, if I have problems in an airplane, I want to be flying in America because you can almost land anywhere. There's so many little airports. Look, we've got a plane up in the air up here. What is it? What is it? Where am I? It's a Skyhawk. It's at 7. It's a little bit higher than me, 8,000 feet. And yeah, it's a Skyhawk. Isn't that cute? Isn't it cute? It's a little bit higher than we are. Malden Airstrip. Yeah, there's airstrips everywhere. Almost every farmer in the country has an airfield. Not literally, but it seems like it as you're flying. You'll see all these little dirt and grass strips around, and those are sometimes ranches, little private strips. Eagle Tail Ranch. See, there's another one over there, Eagle Tail Ranch. What's the story on Eagle Tail Ranch? Eagle Tail Ranch. It's a soft runway, which means it's either dirt or grass. They don't really tell you. It's in Tonopah, Arizona. Yeah, it just has an apron. It's 4,856 feet long, though. That's not bad. I've seen smaller. One of the problems with the little airstrips is they're usually not very wide. And that might make a difference, depending on what you're flying, of course. That Skyhawk is kind of behind me now, so it's over there. Isn't it cute? You might not be able to see it. I've got blue blocker glasses on, so that are amber, and it allows me to see a little bit better, especially on a bright day like today. I think that's a freeway there, but what's this over here? That looks like a man-made river. What is that? It looks like some kind of a canal, which it very well could be, for distributing water for agricultural purposes, I'm guessing. There is some agriculture out there. We've got some farmland. All right, well, we're about 15 minutes in the flight. I'm going to jump out and refresh my tea. And I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. Salam Airport. So I had to heat up some water So it's going to take a few minutes. Western Sky and Indian Hills. I missed a couple of airports back there. Not really. Not really. I'm looking at the map now. Yeah, we're kind of getting out in no man's land again. Minutes in the air. All right, make sure my gauges are doing. My gauge is okay. Oh yeah, we have still some room on the throttle. What's our speed doing? Okay, we're at 227. We're doing okay. I'm happy with that. Anything over 220, I'm happy. So we're doing good. No problemos. There's some farmland out there. Looking around. Just looking around. This is a kind of a pretty plane. I like it a lot. It's very sleek, and I'm getting used to the sound of the engine, even though it still reminds me of a buzz saw, a skill saw, cutting into balsa wood. I'm getting used to it. Anyway, I was talking earlier about flying a jet, a luxury jet. It would be an executive style jet where you only have 4 or 5 people. But it's got 2 engines. The one I'm thinking of, and I can't think of the name of it. Darn it. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, I found it. It's the Cessna Citation Longitude, it's called. And it is like I say, it's considered an executive jet. It's got 2 jet engines on the tail. So the engines are behind the wings. And it looks like an interesting plane. Now, jets are another kind of a animal for as far as flying goes. I don't think I'm going to be able to jump in this plane and actually fly it right off the bat. I'm going to have to kind of study a little bit on this Cessna Citation Longitude. There is one available with Microsoft. It comes with Microsoft, the game, the sim. There's one in it. I don't know how complicated it is to fly. A lot of the in-game planes aren't that hard to fly because a lot of the things are done for you as far as bells and whistles and things like that. They're all preset a lot of times. That's why a lot of people fly the different planes, like the Phoenix, the 320 Airbus, the fly-by-wire. They call them study planes because you have to know a little bit. You have to do some studying to fly them. You need to be able to know how to select things and which button to push to get you to do what. Most of the in-game ones are dumbed-down versions. Doesn't mean they're not difficult to fly. It just means you don't have to study so much. So 25 minutes in the air. We still have 219 nautical miles to go. And it looks like we've got less than an hour and we'll be there. That's kind of enjoyable for me. Some of the flights are pretty long. Anyway, I'm kind of anxious to take a look at the citation. So for anybody that's interested on my computer and the stage that we're at on the build, it is in the burnout stage, the testing stage. So what that means is, if you're not familiar with computer builds, normally after you build a computer, there are a series of software programs that you can start on the computer that attacks the GPU and the CPU to its limits, and to determine if there's any problems with the build. And they'll run that for a period of time, 48 hours, 72 hours, whatever it is. I'm not quite sure what this one is. It's at least 48 hours they let it run. And if there's any kind of problems, if there's a piece of hardware that's not working properly or doing its job, or it falls down and crashes or something, they replace it and they test it again. So one of the reasons why I chose the company that I chose, I trust them. But that's the stage my PC is in. And it's the next to the last stage. After this stage, it'll be in shipping. I just got a new email from the company that's building the PC. It's in stage 4 quality check. They've completed the stress testing. So the stress testing is done. I got that memo about 2 days ago, so they must have went about 48 hours on that stress test. And it says that it's in the next stage. It's given a final once-over to ensure that there's no fingerprints, smudges, or other visual defects. And the system will receive the high-quality etching from the company at this stage. And then there's only one stage left, and that's the shipping, I think. I think. So I didn't mention the name of the company that I've got working on this for me is called Doghouse Systems, and quite happy with it. One of the things that might disappoint some people, hey, we're coming into some civilization here. Some people might be disappointed because in this build, there's quite a bit of LED stuff in computers nowadays. LED stuff in computers don't impress me any. For me, if I'm purely into functional. The bells and whistles don't mean a lot to me because I don't sit and look at my computer all day long. Matter of fact, my computers are set in places where I can't see them anyway, because I've got them situated where they in the best place that they can stay cool and get ventilation and stuff like that. So I have to physically get up and walk around to a certain angle before I can see any of the LEDs on my PC that I built on my last build that I built. And so that kind of stuff doesn't impress me. It's kind of like having a headset that has flashing LEDs in it. It's on your head. You can't see it. So what's the point? You know, it doesn't impress me any. So the choice I had on the build was quiet and cool, and I'm talking temperature cool, versus the ability to see all the lights flashing. So I chose to have it better insulated and more quiet. So I don't on the PC I'm using right now that I built myself. I've got tempered glass on two sides of the PC. You can clearly see everything that's flashing inside of it. On this one that I built, I decided I wanted quiet and cool temperature, so I asked for extra insulation and more quiet. So that's what I'm getting. So it's going to be a regular PC. It's going to be functional, not beautiful. Well, in my eyes, it's still beautiful, but I know other people. Scorpion, I know he likes all that bling, bling, bling. It doesn't work for me. It's pretty, but I don't sit there and look at it all day long. What is this? What are we coming over here? Is that solar power? I'll bet it is. It's too perfect to be farming. I'll bet that's what that is. If we had Google Maps, we'd probably be able to see it. By the way, just information on me talking about things that are time sensitive. For example, my computer build. At the time of recording right now is going to be, let me see here. It's probably going to be almost a week before you see this video. So I'll have more news. By the time you see this video, I'm going to have more news on the piece. It's probably going to be shipped. So, and I'm not looking forward to it, really, because it's going to mean a lot of work for me. basically, I have 3 other computers sitting around me. I've got 5 monitors in front of me and a 55-inch TV, 4K television. And I've got a work table that's 4 foot by 8 foot sitting in front of me. And it's not a rectangular shape. It's got a kidney cut out of it. So I'm sitting, towards, and I have things to my side, right and my left. So I'm sitting, it'd be like, well, it's not a donut. I'm not sitting in the middle of the table all around me, but it's pretty close. If I look to the left, the table actually goes almost behind me, to the left and to the right. I built it myself. It's a 4x8, 3/4 inch plywood that I had stained, and it's nice looking. But what I did was I cut an indent out of it so that I could sit in and have table to my left and right. So, but I have to take everything off because I'm going to be moving one of the PCs to replace it with a new one. And that means I have to move the one I'm using now to a new location, and the wiring and the cables. And, here's the thing. Every time I change something on my PC, I don't always clear it first. So let's say I decided that technology changed in the HDMI cables, and I buy new HDMI cables. I unhook the old ones, put in the new ones, and I sometimes don't take the old ones from behind the table. So if you look behind the monitors, it's quite messy. And so I'm going to use this opportunity to take everything off and put everything back with new cables, and it's going to be a lot of work. And I have to clear a spot in my studio for the computer that's going to be moved. The one I'm moving is going to be, initially it was a gaming PC that I had. And when I built my last gaming PC, I took the opportunity to switch out some parts in the old gaming PC and make it a workhorse. So the PC that I'm going to be moving is my editing PC. So it's actually built for rendering and compressing and doing all the work on my videos. That's what it's built for. And that's going to be moving to a new location. And what I will probably do is turn it back into a gaming PC for the kids. Right now they're always wanting to play games on my PCs, and I will not allow it. They have Xboxes and PlayStations, and occasionally Addie will come in and she'll sit next to me and play something, on the PC, because she can't get it on the Xbox or the PlayStation. So there's that. I'm going to probably turn that workhorse back into a gaming PC and move it. Now the other thing is, it's still a pretty decent PC for gaming. So I will be able to do some things I've been wanting to do for a long time. Like if I'm doing a American Truck Simulator, if I'm playing that, I have a steering wheel, a G27. I've got the clutch, brake, and accelerator on the floor. I've got the gear shift on the table. All of that stuff has to be mounted every time I use that game. Because when I'm not playing it, it has to go. Because I have to move my keyboard. I have to move everything off the countertop that I'm using. my HOTUSes, all of that has to go because the steering wheel's big. It takes up a lot of room. The gear shift sits next to it. It takes up room. Desert Center, it's a little airfield. So I'm kind of looking forward to taking this older computer, turn it back into a gaming PC, and hooking the steering wheel to it, so that if I want to do a video on American Truck Simulator, everything's already set up. All I got to do is turn it on and start driving. Same thing with my flight here. Now, right now, what I have to do if I want to fly is I have to take my keyboard, move it, bring my HOTUS out, set it down, set it up, and get it all, put together so I can fly on a trip. It's a pain in the ass. I've got 4 HOTUSes, and one of them is not small. So there's Desert Center. Again, those areas do not look like farmland. They look like solar panels, solar panel farms. I wouldn't be surprised if that's what they are. And they're all over the place out here. I wonder how good they work, or if they work at all. From what I have heard, the wind turbines work better than the solar power. I guess it depends on who you talk to. Solar power is expensive to put together. Not that the turbines are not expensive, they are, but I think I've been told for the cost, the wind turbines produce more and cost less than solar panel. Plus the fact there's always winds, every place has a little wind. Some places have a lot more, but there's a lot of places that don't have a lot of sunshine. My state is one of them. On the coast here, we get very little sunshine. It's always raining. Washington State has a lot of places that get a lot of rain and not a lot of sunshine. And there's parts of every state that gets, sunshine. But comparatively, Washington and Oregon don't get a lot of sunshine. All right, I got to be careful. I think I'm high enough. I don't think I'll have any problem here. But I might want to go up just a little bit. Let me put the altitude up a little bit, just be on the safe side. I'll go up to 8,500. Let me rise a little bit. I'm going to go get my second cup of tea. I'll be right back. I have returned and I haven't crashed. So I made it over the hills. Well, we got some more coming up. I'm looking at the map, and I pretty much decided, I was thinking, once I get to LA, the only thing I have left is to fly through California up into Oregon, which is easier said than done. California is a big state, and I was thinking that I'd be able to get out of California in the next leg of the trip, and then end up in Oregon. So I was thinking, after this leg, that I only had 2 legs left. I'm looking at the map and deciding that's not going to be the case. We got a plane right in front of us, but it's flying at, oh, it's on the damn ground. It must be landing someplace. Oh no, it's at 32,000 feet. Never mind. And it's the same plane I'm flying, and it's flying at 32,000 feet. I think this plane is rated for 35,000, but I don't think I'm ever going to fly it that high. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying, I was looking at the map, and there's no. I was thinking that I would take myself from LA to Redding, California, which is close to the Oregon border, but not quite there yet. And I looked, and that's going to be like a 4 or 5 hour flight. So I'm going to have 3 more legs after this one. One to get me halfway through California, a second one to get me all the way out to California, and then a third one to get me home. So we'll take a look. I'm not looking at Redding anymore. I'm going to head out of California, and I haven't actually chosen a destination yet. But it's going to take me 2 legs to get out of California. That's how big California state is. Right, if we take a look at a map, you'll see we're looking at LA right here. This is where we're heading. So we're still in Arizona. We're just coming across this mountain range right here. And from LA, I was hoping to get up to Redding, which is way up here. And again, that's not even real close to the border, but it's closer than LA is. But that's going to be too far. Look how big California is. So I'm thinking about maybe going from LA to Sacramento, and then in the next leg, Sacramento to, say, Medford maybe, or someplace here, and then home on the third one. Hard to say. It's really hard to say. I might not even make it to Sacramento. I might go to maybe from LA to Oakland or San Francisco. LA to San Francisco, I think, is what I'm going to do. And then I'll take San Francisco to, God, I don't know. Maybe San Francisco to Redding, and then from Redding into, I'm not sure. I'm going to have to decide on that. I don't care if the last bit is a shorter trip. So I may go from LA to San Francisco to, say, Medford, and then Medford to home. We'll see how it goes. Bermuda Dunes. We got some pretty rough country down below. Okay, so we're getting close to Palm Springs. Which means California. So we're actually moving into California because that Bermuda Dunes is in California. So we're in California now. It's hard to say because the state goes kind of crooked here. We're flying straight west, but the state kind of goes at an angle here if you look at a map. So we may be or maybe not in California. I think we are. Because desert palms. Anyway, we're coming up on Palm Springs, California. There's 1,000 palms. Are there really 1,000 palms down there? Tell you what, though, I'm going to wait till I get over these mountains before I try to come back down. Where are the 1,000 palms? In the middle of the desert area? I bet it's hotter than hell here. There's Palm Springs. We're going to fly right over Palm Springs. So we're 100 miles away from Los Angeles. We got about 23 minutes of flight time left. We've been flying about 52 minutes. I have to get this flight in the can because I've got a live stream in about 2 hours. A lot of houses crammed in down there. Big freeways over to the right. That's a pretty good sized airport below us there. It's an international airport. And I don't know. Am I going to make it? I might have to go up again. I'm going to climb a little bit just to be on the safe side. We're going to come up. I'm going to go up to 12,000 feet. I don't want to get caught short, as they say. That should be plenty. I'm 8,000 feet now, and I think I'm okay. So 12,000 should be perfectly fine. But say goodbye to Palm Springs. certainly lush and green over there. I wonder what they've got that these people over here don't have. Maybe some water. I actually saw some water tanks on this hill back here. I think you can still see kind of. Okay, look down there. What is that? Are those wind turbines? There's a ton of them down there. Yes, look at all the wind turbines. Oh my God. Holy smokes, they look like they're hitting each other. There's so many. And they're over here too. Wow. That's a lot of wind turbines. And they're even up on that hill over there. And there's more in front of us. There's more heading into this valley here. I don't know if you've ever seen one of those up close. They are huge. They're very huge. Now, I haven't been close enough to see one that's installed up close and personal. I've seen one from a distance. And I've actually seen some pretty close. But where I have seen is I've seen just the propeller of one. Now, if you notice there's not just one propeller. There's like, what, 3 or 4 of them? Yeah, it looks like 3. See those big propellers spinning? I've seen one of those on the back of a flatbed truck on a freeway, and they take up 2 lanes. They're so huge, it's unbelievable how big they are. And to think that that's just the propeller and just one of them. There's 3 of them up there. When you get up close to one of those, they are huge, those turbines. Matter of fact, when I went on holiday here a few weeks ago, we got behind one of those. And like I said, they're just very, 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 very big. They take up a lane and a half. So for all intents and purposes, they're taking up 2 lanes when they travel. But they are about a lane and a half, those things, and so long, they're just huge. We stopped, had lunch because they were in front of us. If you can get around them, because they're big and scary. All right, I think I can probably come back down now. So let's go popping in here and drop back down. I got an email from Navigraph. Navigraph is a company that I have a subscription to that puts charts and things on your planes, and as a matter of fact, Navigraph is the company that provides this little nav map. This little nav map is what I use to do some of my flight planning and things like that. This is live right now. You can see that there's my plane, and it's actually moving. It's tracking me. So this is live. This little nav map is very useful program, and it's free. Now, to get the full enchilada, I do have a subscription. And so if I'm flying and I want a graph of an airport, I can do it with Navigraph. I got an email this morning. They are attempting to. Well, they're in beta on a version of Navigraph to put on these instruments here in this particular plane and other planes that have this particular GPS. It's the GPS 3000 and 5000. And so you can import graphs right into your plane that help you out with landing and takeoffs and all kinds of information like that. That'll be interesting. Hey, we got water. I didn't think California had any water. They stole it from other states. Where are we at anyway? Paris Valley. There's an Air Force base. We're going to fly right over an Air Force base. We got some agriculture, looks like a little bit. Anytime you find water, you should find some agriculture. That's a weird looking circle right down there. Is that a racetrack? I doubt it. Okay, we're going to be flying over March Air Force Base. There's the Paris Valley, and every one of these, there's little towns, but a lot of these are strips. I point that out a lot. That's an interesting looking lake. What lake is that? Can't tell. More civilization. I'd like to be the fortunate few that have a house around a lake, like down here. That looks like a man-made canal. We're 1 hour and 3 minutes into the flight. We've only got 57 miles left to LA. That's a pretty good sized strip of airport strip down there. Well, they have some big planes they probably bring in. Some of those big planes that the Air Force has for hauling troops and materials. What do they call those? I can't remember. Riverside. I've heard of Riverside, California. Woodcrest. Down by the riverside. Flabob. Is that what that is? Flabob? What the hell is that? So, California, a lot of people live in California. They're getting to be less because a lot of people are moving out. A lot of California people moving to Texas. And other states. It's getting to be too expensive to live in California. I have mixed feelings about states that have a lot of sunshine. California, Florida, Arizona, some of those states like that, where it's Christmas and it's 80 degrees outside, I would have a problem with that. I expect Christmas to have snow, and now I say that, but where I live, we don't have snow. Occasionally, we've had a dusting of snow during the holidays. This year, we had rain all through the Christmas time. Corona Municipal, Corona, California. A little more water, surprisingly. Anyway, I really enjoy places that have 4 seasons. We don't in the area I live in. We basically have 2 seasons, summer and winter. It's and even winter isn't necessarily winter. We have like summer and fall. Or not even that. It'd be spring and fall, because in the summertime here, where I live, if it gets up to 70, we're a scorcher. We don't get real warm weather. So I'm looking at where I live. We have fall and spring, and I miss places that had 4 full seasons. Where we got evergreen trees. They're always green. It's nice to live in an area where the leaves turn color and you get, chilly weather, and then you get snow for winter, and in spring you get flowers and a little bit of rain. Again, some chilly weather, and then in summer it gets hot and it's nice. You get sunshine all day. I miss that. I miss having seasons. But that being said, I would really miss if I lived in California, like LA, where it's just always. Florida, same thing. It's just always hot, always sunshine, even Christmas time. 37 miles out. We got Fullerton Municipal, a lot of bigger airports in this area. They're all over. And the way you can tell a bigger airport is they have glide slopes and they have instruments and VORs around them. There's a lot of VORs around a lot of airports with glide slopes and instrumentation, and the map is just dotted with them. Yorba Linda, I've heard of that too. Where, I don't know. And I've noticed there's little planes all over. You can see the little lights. I've got planes all around me here. A lot of air traffic. All right, I'm going to double check the barometer. Right now we're at 30.1. And it changed, but not much. Another 20 feet, 2014, or 30.14. I want to make sure that the barometer is correct before I get to my landing site. All right, we got Brea to the right. We've got Placentia to the left. There's little towns everywhere. We got Fullerton coming up. Fullerton. A lot of people. A lot of people. And I think you can see the west coast. There's the Pacific. La Habra. La Habra. Is it La Brahea? Labra. La Habra. Probably didn't say it right. All the little airports everywhere. They are everywhere. East La Mirada. I gotta pay attention. I'm getting close. We're about 22 miles out. Should be able to fly right in. We'll see. Get a little bit closer here. South Whittier. Let me come in. I'm going to go up, make sure I get my landing lights on. All right. Santa Fe Springs. Lots of little towns. And even little towns are bigger than some of the big towns we've got on the west coast here. If you look at Los Alamitos, you take one of the smaller towns in California, is bigger than Portland. Oregon only has one big city, and it's Portland. And when you compare it in size, it's not that big to some others. Long Beach, Doherty. Downey. All right, we're 16 miles out. Let's, I'm going to bring it down to 3,600 feet. In preparation of arrival. God, I can't keep up with all the little towns. They're everywhere. All right, let's get ready. We're going to set up a little bit in the seat here. What do I need to be doing here? Still coming down. It's making little noises at me. All right, I'm going to slow her down a little bit. Gonna level off. Get down a little bit. Let's drop the landing gear. I'm gonna take it out of cruise control. Kind of come around a little bit. Put flap down. That raises the nose up a little bit. Okay, put the all the way down for landing. And let's see if we can get it lined up. Keep it around 100 and something speed wise. 2,600 feet. Los Angeles, Inglewood. $1,900 feet. Checked the barometer one last time. It didn't change. I'm trying to decide about equipment. I've got a lot of HOTUSes, but the HOTUSes that I use are made for spaceships, kind of. They're not really. One of them I do have that's based on a jet fighter that uses a stick instead of a yoke. And I'm thinking about getting a yoke, but I don't know. They're pretty expensive. Got so many HOTUSes now. Okay, landing gear's down, flaps are down. We should be okay. Just need to line up here. A little bit slow. I'm going to come down too fast. And we're down. A little bit of a hop there. I didn't realize I was that close to being down. I'm gonna slow down a little bit. I think I'm just gonna park over to the left here where the small planes are, not worry about the big airport over there. Go ahead and bring my flaps up. Yeah, I didn't realize I was down on the runway, and I raised the nose just a tiny hair and did a little bit of a hop. So not my best landing, not my worst. It was still a pretty good landing. Yeah, I'm just going to pull in over here, find myself a small spot. This is a little bit hard to taxi because it's so damn fast. You have to rev it up to get going in the first place, and when you do, you're actually going faster than you should. And alrighty, throw a brake on. We're here. Los Angeles. Yes, yes, yes. We are here. Let's jump up here. We turn our lights off. Here, and we can turn the starter off. Turn the fuel off of auto. And turn the AP off. AP off. Oxygen off. Jump down here. Flip some switches here. Take the bleed off. Alright. Turn off generator. Source. Drop the crash bar. And let's see. Flaps are up. We're in idle. And let's click off the fuel. And we're down and dusted. Los Angeles. Sweet. We are here. We have arrived. Anyway, like I said, I think I've got at least 2 more legs to get home. Maybe 3. We'll see. I might kind of take it easy. Take some shorter jumps. But hope you had fun. Hope to see you in the next one. Ta-ta for now.